Hello, GM. My name is Satoshi. I'm with the StakeRocketPool team and really excited to jump into one of my most exciting topics of all, which is Rocket Pool DeFi. rETH, Rocket Pool's staked ETH product, is a fantastic way to go long Ethereum, and better yet, you can get juicy rewards simply by participating in different DeFi opportunities. Now, this is not financial advice. This is community created content focused solely on Rocket Pool DeFi opportunities for rETH or RPL. So simply go to rpldefi.com and you will be greeted with this Google document. So highlighting here, today is Wednesday, September 20th, and there's good news with this Rocket Pool DeFi market rates update. And as of today, there are now incentives on Base Protocol, as well as on Arbitrum and Polygon ZK EVM. Optimism is pumping some as well. And so let me change the view so you can see the summary table that we have here on our left. And this is the rETH and RPL DeFi rates that have been updated today. And we can see that simply by holding rETH, the trailing 30-day average has been 3.43%. Now, on the right-hand side here, we have the real stats that this is coming from. So shout out to Valdorf, who helped create this Dune Analytics open source dashboard that highlights the rate that rETH is paying over the last 30 days. Now, this rate does change because it's based on the amount of MEV as well as the staking rewards that the smoothing pools get from all the different node operators, or even node operators who aren't in smoothing pools, who then distribute out the ETH to the rETH holders. The great news is that rETH holders have to do nothing. They simply just get a slight variable rate of return that is market determined. And so as we can see here, that Rocket Pool's rETH is in the middle, and above it we have staked ETH by Lido, and below it we have Coinbase's CVE. And that would make sense because Rocket Pool does charge around 14% for node operators to provide the liquid staking token and the collateral RPL in the back end. And Lido does charge less, and there are some trade-offs for that many of us here don't believe in or have had bad experience, like team members of ours have. So we came to the good side in the light and are only supporting rETH ahead. So that is a little bit down from the last 2 weeks, and it's still pretty popping when you can see that since the merge, which boy oh boy has been over a year ago, it's now 4.3%. Boom. And that's a pretty juicy rate of return when you're considering that is all in Ethereum, aka ultrasound money. We won't go into ultrasound money today, but when you're earning 4.3% and not dollars or yen or pound or any other currency, it's actually Ethereum that has a decreasing supply when there's high demand, which there has been since the merge. It is very lucrative to just hold on to rETH and earn this rate of return, which is more than most savings accounts I've ever paid in my lifetime. Now, it's not necessarily as high as US Treasuries are paying on a short-term duration to keep money, within their walled garden, but it's really good news to see that you can earn 4.3% in ETH, not anything else. So jumping ahead, we have that as a risk level of the lowest. And so this is all community research. Once again, Please feel free to give feedback, add notes. But here's the fun stuff that we're going to jump into today. Now, we have a new column here, which is, incentivized strategy. As you can see, this gets updated real time because it's community created. And we are excited to see that on Gamma, there are RPL rewards. And so, on top of Gamma swap, which is basically a optimized Uniswap pair for rETH and rETH, it makes Uniswap v3 more effective for liquidity pool providers. It's paying 6.75%. So that's pretty awesome when you consider you're getting, rewards in RPL, which has been incentivized. So that's fantastic to see that, the Rocket Pool DAO is supporting currently here with incentives that are on 5% APY, which is more than the entire staked ETH rate of return right now. Now we know these are variable rates of return, but that is very sexy. And so you're seeing that you're earning 1% in rETH, and you're also earning the fees. So the fees are coming from, anybody coming in and out of the pool. And sometimes these fees skyrocket when there is, certain market volatility. You can jump into this strategy. And the good news is they have some great documentation where you can learn below. And you can see that, rETH is only like 1/3 of the whole pie, but still collectively of the whole pie, with rETH being, 68% of it, there's $4.3 million globally invested here. And the total rate of return is now 7.03%. It's gone up since it was last updated. So that is really awesome to see. And if you want to learn more, as you click in the document, you'll be able to see that there are even how-to videos that some other community members have created. So if you don't know how to use Gamma and you want to see a community member use it, boom, bada bing, bada bam, here you go, available. So we're going to jump back up. Well, actually, we don't need to jump back up, but it is fun to see it at the top in the summary table when you look at collective rewards. Now, PancakeSwap, they have really been stepping it up, and there's 2 tweets to highlight of them and to jump into the rewards, which they're paying out in cake, 8.1% in the last 24 hours. But you can see that first you have up here how they're incentivizing the rETH ETH pool and the rETH BTC pool. This really highlights that if this was the top DEX coming over from Binance, and now they are actively, vampire attacking anyone on the Ethereum ecosystem natively. So this is ETH mainnet to come over and to stake with them to earn cake. And they're focusing on, rETH and ETH and BTC. It shows how important rETH is as a pair, and they're willing to give their governance token away for this. Now, on top of that, this is quite unique that there is a RPL campaign where they're looking for, staking cake. So anyone out there in the PancakeSwap community would like to earn RPL, which is the governance token for Rocket Pool, and is required to be able to run a node with less ETH than you could otherwise. We are big fans of it and run some nodes ourselves. And so, this was a short time. It is still active for only 24 more hours, but it's really cool to see that RPL can be earned for doing different actions like staking cake. Jumping right into it. So competing with, Gamma Swap, that is actually Uniswap, and Balancer and others for the pair of rETH to ETH, we can see that PancakeSwap, a bit different of a site, but they are showing the ability to play different pairs And so there's a lot of analytics here, and I jumped right into the rewards, which isn't necessarily the best thing to do. What's helpful to see is, their suggestions, and they're seeing that, when liquidity is provided in a tight range, the basically 5 bips range, that fee tier has a payout range of around 7.5% a year. And that payout is in cake tokens as well as ETH. We can see the details. So they put them all here for you, but this is, a newer DEX over to Ethereum mainnet. And if we'd like to see how much they have in this pool, I'm not able to see that currently, but I bet we could look into it more. It's just exciting to see that Pancake Swap does and is actively participating within the Rocket Pool community and DeFi, and interested in, bringing on our ETH holders to provide liquidity on Pancake Swap and to earn rewards. So jumping on, Beethoven, which is on Optimism. It's exciting that the L2 DeFi summer has really kicked off, and we can see that you can get boosts on Aurora, but simply just on top of Beethoven, which was a balancer, fork, and it runs on top of Optimism, has 16 million locked up total, but within this pool itself, wow, has 7.77 million, and that's a lot collectively, considering the TVL is only 16 million. So that's almost half the TVL is just in this pool here, and that's cool to see. And there's been a lot of volume in the last 24 hours. Almost 400K has come in or out, and what we can see, this rate of return is variable, and the rate is between 3.9 and 8%. It's gone up since this was last updated, but these rewards are in balancer. You're also getting some rETH rewards, which is just so awesome to know that, when you have rETH and you're staking it, you are getting a native rate of return when you go to exchange your rETH for ETH. But on top of that, you can participate in these DeFi activities, and you can see that currently there is the liquidity incentives are just balancer and not OP currently in this pool, which seems to be an adjustment from what I saw previously, but we will update accordingly. And what we also want to highlight then, competing on top of that similar pool, would be on Arbitrum. Really exciting to see how Arbitrum is competing in the DeFi summer by paying out ARB tokens as well as balancer tokens, and the wrapped ETH, rETH. I mean, this pool is paying out some sexy rewards. It's 5% in ARB tokens, as well as almost 5 to 12% in balancer tokens. That's on top of your rETH APY and the swap fees. So that's where you're getting that total of 11, because you're adding together the swap fees plus your rETH APR and then the staking. So the staking is simply, once you're an LP, you also stake on balancer, and that's where you get those extra rewards. There is $4.8 million on Arbitrum in rETH and wrapped ETH. So that's really exciting and cool to see. And, to be able to get Arbitrum tokens, a governance token, is very attractive. It is not just like a normal shit coin or a new coin. I mean, all of these are high quality DeFi projects, and Balancer has had a liquidity program for a long time comparable to Curves, but it's just so fantastic to see that Arbitrum is able to be earned just by doing a lower risk DeFi opportunity. And once again, why is this lower risk? Because this is like a stable pool, meaning you can easily measure the price difference and changes between rETH and rETH. And these pools need a lot of liquidity because globally these are highly used assets. And we are seeing, the demand for that via Arbitrum putting up their own governance token. So moving on to Polygon, for any fans out there, I'm a fan of ZK, and it's exciting to see that, they are just paying out rewards in USDC. So that is really cool. This is a layer 2 for Ethereum, and that rate of return has gone down since the last that this has been updated, because I guess there hasn't been any swap fees in the APR, but it was 8.32%. It's now 7.79%. There's 2.3 million in this pool, comparable, just a different blockchain. So you can see that, what are we looking at here? The volume over the last 90 days, not as much relevant as just seeing like where we're at today. And wow, you can see today there's only actually $5,000 left in this, and the liquidity has moved. So that first number that was babbled off was only the 90 days of volume, was not actually, the current TVL. We can see the current TVL is around 1.5 million. And so that is more exciting to see. There just hasn't been volume in the last day, so trades coming in and out like it happens quite regularly. So the fees have gone down, but there still is 1.467 thousand of Ethereum and rETH wrapped up on top of Polygon, which is exciting to see. And they are paying out USDC. So this is the top desired global stablecoin at a rate of 7.16%. That is incredible and quite sexy. So that's another medium low risk opportunity. And lastly, the newest member of DeFi chains is Base. So it's awesome to see that Coinbase, they're L2 on top of Ethereum. Base has rewards now, and they have copied, like Arbitrum or Optimism saw early success, and they're doing it on top of Balancer. So without further ado, comparable to Polygon, their rewards are in USDC, and it should already be loaded up, but this is on Balancer, on the Base network. And once again, how do you get here? You can see that Balancer is across all of the major Ethereum chains and L2s. And so right now we're focused on Base protocol, and we can see that, wow, Base is 1.5 million, almost 1.8 million locked up in TVL. So it's a little bit more than Polygon, and that is likely due to the high USDC rate of return, which is 6.66%. That is a number some don't like. I think it's an awesome number. Turn it upside down, it's 999, but it's 6.66 in swap fees, and that is variable. But the USDC, BC, so it's on the Base chain, Coinbase, it's been over 6% in stable coins, in addition to the staking holding rate of return. The whole key here is that you do not lose your funds in a hack. DeFi is risky, and anything you have in DeFi, could be lost. There was a vulnerability found last month, and most of the funds were moved off of Balancer. So it's just really important to be aware and to do your own research. But very exciting to see that DeFi Summer 2 has really kicked off. And we just highlighted that here with the new addition of base protocol, just jumping quite quickly from nothing. What was this? 2 weeks ago to boom, $1.6 million. So it's not nothing to snide your nose at, but this is an opportunity for anyone who wants to participate in a lower risk opportunity. This is for you. So look into now more active strategies. These are more on the degen side. Why is that? Because there's higher volatility, and that would be with rETH and RPL. So that's on top of balancer, and that's paying out a variable rate of return. And the variable rate of return really depends on the balancer that you receive in the rewards. That is when it's staked as well. So it's gone down to 3.49% to 6%. That was a bit higher when this was first reported earlier today. But this is just providing in a 50-50 pool, rETH and RPL. And why is this like a medium risk level? And that is just because there's more volatility in the RPL token than there is in just wrapped ETH. And so when you just compare rETH to wrapped ETH, it's a lot easier. Not with, wow. We'll get it right here, folks. Maybe never. But the more favorite of mine of the bunch would be jumping over to Badger rETH. So Badger is a Bitcoin project. This folks are bringing Bitcoin over to Ethereum. The Badger token itself is a governance token, which is backed by Bitcoin. So in essence, you have Ethereum and Bitcoin paired up here 50-50, and you are earning, 5 to 12%. And that is just freaking awesome. You can see that there's $14 million locked up in here. This is 10 times more than what was locked up on Polygon and the rETH wrapped ETH pool. And this is, it's gone down. It was 21 million last month around this time. And that means these whales are moving their funds around, but this is still, a pretty big pool. And that is because it's paying out some sexy balancer rewards. And these individuals who hold Badger and rETH understand that going long two most important projects and getting liquidity incentives for that is the way. Maybe it's the degen way. And that's why it's considered more high risk, because Badger is a little bit more volatile, but not as volatile as a lot of other coins. Do your own research, and jumping down to some other opportunities. What we wanted to highlight simply is pretty exciting is to see what else is going on. And I wanted to give a shout out to Gravita protocol, because there are other ways that you can participate in Rocket Pool DeFi beyond just being a liquidity provider on a DEX. Now, as Gravita loads, you can see that Gravita is all about borrowing against your rETH. Now, it hasn't opened up yet to borrow against your RPL. There's not that much demand for it, but think about being able to borrow a stable coin against your rETH and then invest that in DeFi. So that's the compounding money Legos that DeFi was built upon. And so you're using your staked ETH product, as well as you are then taking some leverage by putting up some of your own rETH to then borrow at a extremely low rate of return. It's close to free. The reason why it's not free is there is a entry fee. And I'm not giving a great overview because I was able to see the total pool assets that they have and how much rETH has been already deposited onto Gravita. Let's see if it's in the borrow. Yeah, I believe it is in the vessels tab. So awesome. So we can see that, 6.5 million out of 7.5 million could be minted. And that is just a lot. And, you can see that there's no issues right now. It's normal. This is as if I were to launch my own, and I haven't done this yet. So this is probably irrelevant for most individuals, and I'm not giving it due justice as to how cool Gravita protocol is. But Gravita is a great opportunity for our ETH holders to be able to mint a stable coin, and then to be able to do additional things with the stable coin, like provide it as liquidity and earn more token rewards. So when you go long with our ETH, you have more opportunities, and that is really good news. And you can see that actually our ETH is by far the favored on the mint cap of the protocol, which is really exciting to see. There are some concerns around others that we won't mention, but our ETH is a really trusted product in the ecosystem, and you can tell that just by the market data. Now, another cool one to highlight would be over on Aave. For some others who are able to take out a loan with their rETH, they may not want, the GRI token, which is off of the Gravita protocol. They would rather have, USDC or DAI or Bitcoin itself, and it's whatever is on top of Aave. If you put down rETH as collateral, then you can also borrow at a low rate of return. Now, low is relative to your cost and your situation, but when you're seeing that it is under 1%, and it's variable. So it's variable dependent upon how much of the pool is used and supply. You can see that, there is room, but there's already, 2.2 million supplied. That's awesome. And people are borrowing at less than 1%. And so that is really incredible to see that the leading, OG Aave on top of Arbitrum and L2, borrow and lending protocol, is really providing a great opportunity for our ETH holders to, deposit, borrow, and then participate and rehypothecate their rETH, or just to hold on to that stable coin and do other things. So, it really was a treat to spend some time with you today. Please do come back. We update this website every 2 weeks, and it is available for the community. We hope this was entertaining for you. At least I do. And let me know if you have any feedback. It's all about doing your own research. This is just educational content created by the community. I hope you enjoy. Thanks so much. Rocket Pool DeFi, September 20th, 2023. See if it loads before we leave. Bada bing, bada boom. Thanks so much, all. Take care.